Hello, everybody, and welcome to WKP. Today, we're going to be talking about Hurricane Laura, my predictions for its strength upon landfall, who will see the worst effects, and what will the overall effects of this hurricane be. And at the end of the video, I will share evacuation tips for anybody in the affected area who needs to evacuate. Disclaimer, I do want to say I know weather really good and I will give you guys all an accurate prediction, but please look to your local weather stations for evacuation plans and official evacuation times and whether you're already evacuating or not. Also, look at the NOAA website because they give some really good models and information for anybody who is in the affected area or people who are trying to learn about meteorology. Also, I will give you guys other websites which you can access to help find what the weather will be like in your area from this hurricane. So right now you can see that the eye of this hurricane is a little misshapen, but as we go on out through the day, the storm strengthens even more and has almost a perfect eye wall in a few hours. This storm, I predict, will be a Category 5 upon landfall with wind speeds of 157 to 160 miles per hour. This is because of the rapid strengthening that has happened today. Earlier this morning, at 2 a.m., this storm was a Category 2 hurricane of 105 miles per hour. As of now, Hurricane Laura is a Category 4 with 140 miles per hour. So within basically a day, we have gone from Category 2 to Category 4, which is almost unheard of strengthening. So the winds won't even be the worst of this storm. It will actually be the storm surge. So in Sabine Lake, you guys are going to experience 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. And in this lake, which I'm not going to pronounce because I don't know how, you guys are going to experience 15 to 20 feet. Other parts like Galveston Bay and Ocean Springs, you guys will experience 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. Any of you guys who have about 4 to 20 feet of storm surge, like any of you that go from like this 4 to to this 20, you guys, that is dangerous. You'll probably want to evacuate, but please check with your local weather stations whether you guys are evacuating in the area. So let's take a look at the U.S. rainfall potential. Texas and Louisiana on the coast are going to experience 10 to 15 inches of rain, which is over a foot mostly. Other parts of Texas and Louisiana are going to experience 6 to 10 inches of rain, and once the hurricane weakens to about a tropical storm, you guys will experience 4 to 6 inches of rain, which is still a lot, and flash flooding could happen in all of these areas. So let's take a look at the flash flooding potential on the coast of Texas and Louisiana. You guys will experience 50% chance of flash flooding, which is high. Other areas in the track of Laura will experience moderate, and the outskirts of the hurricane will produce 5% marginal to 10% slight chances of flash flooding. Let's take a look at the wind speed probabilities. So most of Texas and Louisiana, actually, well, not most, but most of Louisiana will experience 90% chance of tropical storm winds or higher. So that can be really bad. The worst of the winds, of course, are going to be upon landfall in the Cameron area. Now let's take a look at the windy weather forecast. This is a really cool website I like to use that I found from one of my friend's videos on Hurricane Laura. It's really cool because it shows you the convection and the wind currents all around the world and for the storm. So Cameron is going to the town of Cameron is going to experience at the peak of the storm about 67 mile per hour sustained winds and up to 167 mile-per-hour gusts. This 167 is category 5, so very, very dangerous. You do not want to be there for that at all. Now let's take a look at the GFS model. This hasn't been updated in a while, but I still want to show it to you guys because it gives some good insight on the track of Hurricane Laura. So, upon landfall, the GFS had and sort of has Hurricane Laura at 966 millibars. It's way lower than that now. Do not trust what this says. This is an old model, but as we go on out through the week, you can see that the hurricane weakens over land and eventually becomes a tropical storm and then a tropical depression. But as the storm gets back onto the Atlantic Ocean, it starts to strengthen again, and it turns into a tropical storm once again. Now, I want to show you guys the HWRF model. This model has been surprisingly accurate on this storm, which I've noticed. At first, when I saw this model presented on a video, I didn't think this was accurate at all. It was saying that Laura would become a strong Category 4 or Category 5 hurricane. I did not believe that, but this storm has surprised me, and it came true. So the HWRF model takes Hurricane Laura at a 944 millibars upon landfall, which the hurricane is almost to that on the ocean, so it's going to be way higher than this model, but again, it's old, and this still has it as a hurricane way in throughout the week, and it doesn't even have it becoming a tropical depression for most of its track. It has it as a tropical storm, and then it has it re-strengthening to what looks like it could possibly be the strength of a hurricane, though I doubt this is going to be a hurricane at all. It just shows that 995 millibars is about a Category 1 hurricane, though I don't think that is going to happen. So who is going to get the worst effects? That's going to be Cameron, Louisiana, and the effects overall will be pretty strong, especially for the areas of Iowa to Beaumont. That's where the landfall is going to happen. Between those areas, that is where the effects will be the worst of this storm. The least effects will be around Houston and New Orleans. But that's not to say that you guys in New Orleans or Lake Jackson or Houston could experience rain and a little bit of wind. But the moderate to strong areas will be from basically Lafayette to Beaumont. Now I'm going to give you guys some tips for evacuation. If you already haven't evacuated, you need to evacuate now if you're in the area of landfall or around it, especially if you are on the left side of the hurricane. That is the dirty side, where the worst winds and the worst weather of the hurricane are produced. Cameron's on the dirty side of the storm, and Cameron is getting the worst out of all other places in the path of this storm, as you can see. You do not want to be in this hurricane at all. So evacuate. The best places to evacuate would be to the middle of Texas, I'd say, or the middle of Mississippi, or anywhere else where the storm will not be extremely strong. And it's very likely that you guys will not be able to come back home for a while because of power outages, flooding, and everything else. So you'll want to bring quite a bit of your possessions that are very important to you when you evacuate, because those will likely be destroyed if you are in the worst part of the storm because of the storm surge and the wind. Also, if you have pets, book a pet-friendly hotel. I do not know if in Louisiana, when a hurricane comes, they allow all pets at all hotels. I'm not sure on that, but you'll want to book a pet-friendly hotel and try not to do it last minute, because when you book last minute, you will not be able to get a hotel. Me and my family did this, and we ended up getting a terrible hotel. We had to go to another hotel. So you do not want to book last minute, and also you want to try to book you also want to try to book a hotel with, of course, good prices, and be ready to stay there a while until you're able to come back home, because there's going to be trees down and absolute destruction. I'm not making this video to scare you guys, but just to warn you, because this storm is going to be bad. Um, but everybody who's watching this video, keep Texas and Louisiana in your thoughts and prayers, and and I'll see you guys in another video when I'll do more explanation on what actually happened of Hurricane Laura. See you in another video. Bye.